I'm getting some questions just on how inflation works, and you hear numbers from the news, the media, and though I thought I'd just go a little bit deeper dive into that. And in Canada, inflation right now, 6.9%. That was the last inflation print that came out. And where did they get that number from? Well, what they do is they look at the cost of goods. There's a basket of goods. They look at the cost of goods and how much they cost in, say, October. And then they compare that to the same number or the same basket of goods back a year ago. So the inflation rate is how much the cost of goods, if you're buying something October 2021, how much does it cost October 2022? That's inflation. That's how much it's gone up. So it's not like it's going up 7% a month. It's just year over year. So each month it moves. And there's another number that comes out, and it's the monthly number. So they pay attention to that. So how much did it increase from September to October, October to November? And how much is that going up? And so if you think about it, so if the monthly number is 0.2%, you go over a year, that's 2.4%. So that's not bad. But if it's like 1% over a month, that's 12% over a year. That's quite a bit. And so that's why they're always looking at those numbers. One thing to pay attention to is we had some really high inflation monthly increases earlier on this year. So March, April, May, June, July, in that period, you saw some big increases. So that's baked into our numbers and we're going along. Eventually, we're going to start hitting March next year. And if inflation hasn't increased significantly over last March when things really jumped up, you might actually see inflation decline because of that, because we saw that big jump then, and then maybe it's been a little bit stable since. So that's something to keep in mind, is like we actually have to just have a period where inflation doesn't increase that much, and then some of those high numbers from last year are going to fall off. So that's something to keep in mind. And then there's an index. There's a big listing that goes in there. It's just on a couple things. And so, food's one of them, shelter's one of them, transportation's one of them. And so there's a number of different factors, and they just take a percentage of each and they go in there. And so funny enough, actually, the government's been increasing interest rates. That's been increasing the cost of housing, and so actually causing some inflation for some folks. So in this car, why is inflation bad? Well, you think about this. If you knew prices were going to go up on tuna next week, what would you do this week? Well, you'd go and buy more tuna. And so it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because people will end up spending because they know prices are going up, and then prices going up because people are demanding goods. And so it's just kind of this thing that keeps on going. So that's why it's bad. And it's been shown that proportionately, people with less money get affected more by inflation. And you think about this, a person who's got capacity in their budget, and so they're saving money every month. Well, if inflation goes up, they just save less. So that's affecting them, but it's not really affecting them. Or maybe they just spend less on luxury goods. Where if you're just barely getting by and cost of goods go up, it really you're going into a negative, into credit card savings, and so it really affects you more. And so that's also really tough. So if you have questions about inflation, maybe how it's affecting your portfolio, or you want to just talk about it, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk. Have a great day.